Alright y'all, so what's up? It's the real DJ Red again. Coming to you with a technical video for anyone that's using a passive system. I still use mine every now and then. Getting ready to pull it out next week, but I've been running into a problem. So, question came from one of my followers, and we were discussing the difference between bridging, playing your speakers in series, and parallel. All three are three different things, three different scenarios. Some people are getting the bridging and series mixed up. Bridging your amp is one thing. The easiest way to explain it, when you're bridging an amplifier, this can be car audio as well as pro audio as well. When you're bridging an amplifier, some amplifiers will have a switch on there, and you will have to rewire the output on the amplifier. Meaning that, let me see if I can explain it to you guys easy that everyone understands it. If you have an amplifier that has two channels on there, you got a negative positive on the left side, negative positive on the right side. When you're bridging, some amplifiers, even the pro audio amplifiers, will have a switch on there that you can hit it to bridge, and then you would have to take, you're only going to use the two positives for your output. Channel 1 will be your, channel 1 positive will be your positive side. Channel 2 positive will be your negative side. I don't have my well, the amplifier that I have do not have that type of output on there. I have Nutrix on the back of it, so it wouldn't make sense for me to pull that out. That is one thing. The second thing is, when you're running speakers in parallel, let me go to the front of this speaker here and then I can show you. Alright, so what I have here is the Alto SX215, which consists of two 15s and the 1-inch driver. Now, currently when I got these boxes, well, let me back up a little bit. If anyone looks this up, it is the Alto SX215 Touring. They have it listed as a two-way box, but it is a three-way box. So you have this one, the horn, playing the highs. You have the top 15 playing the mids, bottom 15 playing bass. I did not like the configuration on that, did not like how it sounded. It sounded fine at first, but then I said, let me go back and put these boxes the way how my old ones were, which was to, let me go to the back of it now, which was to take the speaker wires from off of the crossover. Let me add some light to this real quick. Okay, there we go. But take the speaker wires off of the crossover output here and just wire them to the positive and negative on the Nutrix plug. And again, we're talking about the Alto SX215. Okay, and by me taking the speakers off of the crossover and ran them straight to here, now not only that I have more control over it through my DBX drive rack, but now it plays louder because these coils are not holding back on the speaker. Actually, this one here is the coil for the speaker. That's one of them. That's probably the one for the highs, and I believe this one here is also the one for the bass. So now it's playing a lot louder and went from there. Now, here goes a little problem that happened on here. Now these wires here, we're not going to worry about that. That is for the horn driver. Let's take these apart here. So these two here are going to the two speakers. Now, again, let me explain how the parallel is on here. Let's see, we got the two black wires. We would put those two together, and this brown one and the red one, which is the positive for each one of the speakers, we would put those two together. that is parallel. Okay, that's when the positive and negatives do not cross. But a simpler way to put it, that is parallel. Same thing when I had my dual 18-inch boxes, they were wired in parallel. Now, to go series, let me put this down and change it up real quick. Okay, series now. I already twisted one wire together, which I'm going to solder them. Now I took one positive, this red one here, one negative from the other speaker, tied those two together. Okay. The only thing that I'm connecting to the Nutric or the crossover board now, which actually is just going to be the Nutric, is one negative from speaker 2, one positive from speaker 1. It doesn't matter which speaker you put into series or which way you connect it, as far as the positive and negative on there, but one speaker is going positive to the speaker number 1, the top speaker, and then the two speakers connect the negative and positive from speaker 1 to speaker 2, and then out for the negative on speaker 2. Now, the easiest way to explain it, it's all going to be in one circuit now. The downside to that is if one speaker cuts off or blows or fail or whatever have you, the other speaker will shut off as well, because now you have broken the circuit. Let me see if I can break it down a little bit more. If you look at an upside down triangle, I would take the speakers out and really short you, but that's going to be a bit more work, which, you know what, let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to make the video a lot better for you. Let me go ahead and unscrew the two speakers, and that way I can explain it a little bit more. Alright, so here we go. The things that I do to make sure that I get my information out right. Okay, so we have two identical 15-inch woofers that I just took out the box, and from what I'm looking at, from what I've tested on my tester, these are 4 ohm woofers, but the box was rated at 8 ohms. I mean 4 ohms. And if they were wired up according to how I seen it, that would have brought it down to 2 ohms. Okay, so let's get this going. Right now, they're not connected to anything, but I'm going to show you as far as how parallel and series are different. Okay, so let me do that real quick. Okay, so not sure if you guys can see it on there, but okay, there we go. You can see positive is on the left on this one, negative on the right. Same thing on this one. Positive is on the left, negative on the right. So you have the brown wire on this side, that's the positive, and you have the red on the same side, with the same left terminal, that's also positive. Now, parallel, both of the negatives are tied in together, both of the positives are tied in together. You have the red and the brown. That is parallel. And then you would connect this to the jack plate, or with my case, the jack plate with the crossover on the back. Again, I'm not going to be running mine through the crossover. Now, let me break this down and do series. Okay, so now I got them in series. Let me explain how this works. Again, series, I always look at it as an upside down triangle. Let me break it down for you. This is 1 point of one triangle, that's 1 point of one triangle, and then down here will be the bottom triangle, or upside down pyramid, triangle, however you want to see it. What we did was go from the positive from this one, that stays open, that will go back to your jack plate or your amplifier. The negative on this one would go to the positive on this one, which you can see that here. The black is connected with the brown. And then the negative on this side would go to the jack plate, crossover, or amplifier, however you want to do it. So now, this will be your positive, this will be your negative for both sides. The difference between doing them, let's say, I'm still going to use this as a 4 ohm speaker. Most speakers are 8 ohms. Let me see if I can get the number in there. That last number on there, I believe, would say that it's a 4 ohm speaker. Same thing on this one. It's a 4 ohm speaker. Now, if you got them in parallel, you got 4 ohms, 4 ohms. This is going to bring it down to 2 ohms. Okay? When you do it in series, it goes up 4 ohms, and you series in this one, 4 ohms. Now it's going to bring it up to 8 ohms. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I'm just finding out that these speakers are 4 ohms and wondering why the PV amp kept cutting off. If I'm not mistaken, I might have blowed this PV amp, but it's under warranty. So without going through buying up speakers and everything, I'm going to go ahead and wire all of my boxes in series. So instead of it saying, let me get this thing on here. Instead of it saying 4 ohms, like it does right there, the impedance 4 ohms nominal, it's actually going to be 8 ohms. Because the way how this was just in series just now, it was bringing it down to 2 ohms, and meaning that the amp would not be able to play 4 double 15-inch boxes. Now, by me putting it in series the way how it is now, it brings it up to 8 ohms. By the time I put 2 boxes on one channel, I will be getting 4 ohm load between the 2 boxes, and the amp will be putting out I think a little over 2,000 watts per channel, which is fine, because if you go back to, sorry about that, if you go back to continuous, 500 watts, program 1,000 watts, peak 2,000 watts. I doubt that they handle the 2,000 watts, and if it does, I don't think that it would do it for long, but that's that. So now the box will be playing at 8 ohms. Not only that, it won't put a strain on the amp, the amp will run a lot cooler, even though the PV didn't, I haven't had a digital amp get hot on me yet. It will run a lot cooler, more efficient, and all of that good stuff. Now, if you're bridging a amp, what would happen is you can still run this in series or parallel if you're bridging an amp. The only difference is, let's say if you're running the amp in stereo, you would have 1 speaker on the left channel, 1 speaker on the right channel. On the bridge, there's only 1 output coming from that amp, and usually it's channel 1 in most cases. Channel 1 would be the gain for it. If it's pro audio. If it's a car amp, channel 1 would be the positive. Channel 2 on the positive side would be the negative. But bridging is not the same as series or parallel. Series and parallel is what you're doing with your speakers, your tweeters, mid-range or whatever, and the only thing it does, it makes the impedance go up or down as far as the ohms, what it will read on them. The ohms don't change on the speaker, but your ohm load does. Meaning, again, you have 2 4 ohm speakers in series right now, and it's going to read. And in fact, let me get my tester real quick. Okay, I just put the tester on there. I can't hold it and hold the camera at the same time, but you see it's reading 9.7 ohms. So I'm just going to go ahead and call it the 8 ohms then, which is it's a lot better than what I was reading before. And I did hit it on there and hit the hold button. Take the hold button off. Now I'm gonna go back to this again. See, that's reading 4.0. So definitely 4 ohm speaker. And if you got one, it's definitely good to get one of these testers. I use it for a lot of different reasons. Let's see, 4 ohms, 3.9, still good. Because these were 4 ohms, they were wired up in parallel. It made it drop down to 2 ohms. And the amplifier that I was playing only goes down to 2 ohms. And I did this twice on one side. So now you had 2 ohms, and then another box was doing 2 ohms, which brought it down to 1 ohm. Blowed the amp like that, because the amp was not made to go down to 1 ohm. So I hope that this video clears some things up. Again, I do not have an amplifier that has the banana plug outputs on the back of it to really explain. But matter of fact, I'm gonna post a picture of one of my other amps that I had, and you can see the diagram on it, and then that would explain it. But again, this is how you do series, which is taken real quick again. Positive from one side, and it comes out to here. Take the negative from the other speaker. That connects to the positive on the other speaker, which you see the black and brown one connected there. And then the black one comes out right here. So now you would just connect these two to the amplifier or a crossover, however you're connected it on there. And again, that will bring the ohms up. Again, this is 4 ohms, 4 ohms. That will bring it up to 8 ohms. If you run it in parallel, where the negative and positive never cross each other, but they're running with each other, positive to positive, negative to negative, then that will bring it down to 2 ohms. So hope I was clear on this video. What you're looking at here is the stereo or parallel output from an amplifier. You have the positive and the negative from one speaker, from one channel, going to the same speaker. The negative and positive from the other speaker, from the other channel, or other channel rather, going to another speaker. They don't cross. Now this here is bridging. When you're using the 2 positives going to one speaker or a pair of speakers, there's no negatives involved on that. So that is the difference between parallel or stereo versus bridging. Hope this helps. And if you have any questions, please leave your comments down below if you need any more clarity on anything else. I hope that this really helped you out. And I believe Ravi was the one that we got into the conversation with this, and go from there. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you got any questions, comments, leave them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer and respond to them. Thank you to those who's following me as well. And please hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and make sure you hit that Taco Bell over there so every time I put up a video, you'll be notified about it first. Yours truly, DJ Red. I'm up out of here saying peace, and also happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you.